Well, hey everybody, it is Brad.
And I'm Christa.
With the Big Family Homestead. And today we are doing this live. This is a live stream. I'm going to bring up the chat. And if you're watching this replay, you can always check in the comments because there's a lot of good comments that people share.
Oh, yeah.
But today we're talking about long-term, well, might not be so long-term anymore, preparedness foods.
No, this is more short-term.
Better do it now.
Real quick. Do this now.
Better do it now. And so we figured we would have this conversation. You guys have input. Put stuff in the comments section down below.
Got it.
Yeah. And interact. Share your knowledge. And we figured we'd start with ready.gov.
When he told me what the website was,
You're like, what?
Literally laughed out loud.
Because some of these things are really good, and then some of these things are clearly, let's just do what's called security theater.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what security theater is?
I know what theater is, and I don't generally like to go there.
Okay. This is a real term. I watched a documentary, and then I did some research on what happened in airports with scanners and gun sniffing things and all the stuff that's supposed to keep you safe when you go on an airplane after 9/11. Well, they know that most of the things that they're looking for don't get found. They know that. And those scanners and all that stuff, all that technology, people can still get things through if they really want to get things through. And so they know that it's happening, so that it's called security theater because it makes you feel better.
Right. Happy Meat Farm just said a fake sense of security.
You got it.
Amen. That's right.
It's completely there. They only catch 10% of the stuff that they send through them.
Right. I mean, they're taking, bottles of breast milk.
Yeah.
Okay. Seriously?
Security theater.
Yeah.
It's intended to make you feel safer. Now, taking off my shoes, that doesn't make me feel safer. It gets me irritated.
Okay, the last time I flew was 5 years ago? I've never had anxiety like that.
Well, you don't. See, I used to fly a lot.
He used to fly. I don't fly. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've flown in an airplane. Okay, and I was by myself, and I just.
Yeah, well, it was one of our sons was graduating from Army training.
Yeah.
Basic training,
Right.
And so we couldn't both go because it was a money thing. So one of us got to go, and it was Mom.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't the flying part; it was everything else that just. Anyway, it was stressed me out.
We're gonna get on food.
Yeah, let's get back on topic.
I want to tell you one little thing. This is an actual true story. I was in a band, and we traveled a lot. We flew a lot, and for over a year of at least 30 flights after 9/11, when everybody was on super high security, I was going through my computer bag, and down in the bottom of my computer bag that I carried with me every time, there was a Swiss Army knife in there, a big one.
Big one.
At least 30 flights, not one ever looked. Security theater.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of these items, you guys talk about them. Chat in the comments section. What the theme is top preparedness foods.
Yep.
What should you be putting on your shelves right now? Because guess what? Things are getting weird.
Reese's peanut butter cups. Top. Just kidding. No.
What do you guys think your top 3 or 4 or 5 things would be that you should have in your pantry right now?
I already told mine. Reese's peanut butter cups. No.
Actually, we both have been losing weight, and
Yeah.
she's lost a lot of weight, and she's stayed. I don't think you've had a Reese's in 3 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one.
No, we've not been going for 2.5. We haven't been going for 3
I thought
weeks.
it was 3 weeks.
No, it's only been 2.5.
They caught you with deadly nail clippers, says Steve Ganink.
Gasp.
Okay, ready.gov. Let's see if you agree with this. Okay, they're number 1. Ready to eat canned meats, fruits, vegetables, and a can opener. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I would say not just anything that's freeze dried. I know you guys know that we we love our freeze dried food. We sell it.
Right.
But I'd say you need stuff that's ready to eat.
Yeah, stuff that you can just open and eat right from the can.
Yeah, you don't even have to heat it up.
Right. I mean, Happy Meat from Rio says seasonings. Yes.
Yes.
That's probably one of my top is the seasonings because bland food, you're going to get food fatigue and it's just going to be not pleasant.
Yeah, Ware family, double stuffed Oreos.
Heck yeah.
I'm coming to your house.
Yeah, no
All right.
kidding.
Seasonings, yes. Rice and beans, yes, but seasonings with that. Salt, yes, I agree. Let's see, freeze-dried milk and meat. That we're all about that.
Oh yeah.
We're all about that.
Yeah.
Because we love our Thrive Life
Right.
stuff.
And you're gonna want stuff that doesn't require water or cooking.
Yeah.
You know, yes, the freeze-dried stuff you can eat it, but you need to be drinking a lot more water.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Their next one, I agree with also. Protein or fruit bars.
Yeah.
You're gonna need proteins.
Definitely.
Fruit bars are nice. Give you a little pick-me-up.
Right. It's that added sugar and the grains and the fruit that are in there are really helpful for feeling better. I mean, sugar, your body needs sugar. You know, it needs the right kind of sugars, but definitely needs sugar.
Netta can't get Thrive Life from our link. Well, go ahead and type the link in.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Yeah, you're gonna need that.
I need to click there. I usually have my laptop here, but I didn't grab it.
The next one says peanut butter. I think peanut butter is great because it does not go rancid for a long time, even past its expiration date.
That's correct, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, there's the link.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Peanut butter is great. If you don't have, I mean, a lot of people have nut allergies, so you got to be careful with that.
Right. But you can. I mean, if you have a peanut allergy and not necessarily a nut allergy, you can have almond butter, or even cashew butter. There's a couple of different options.
Yep, I'm telling you, folks. With the news today, things are going to get interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there are groups. I've got to be careful how I word this because YouTube will ban and censor things. But there are groups that have committed to violence, and I think they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
So it's going to be best if we probably just stay at home for a while.
Right.
You know, canned juices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say that. I mean, if you're able to get fruit, you can make your own juices. But canned juice, having some of that is helpful.
Be aware of what grows where you live.
Yes.
I would we're going to get through this list and then we're going to share some stuff with you that you might not be aware of. And it's not freeze-dried food.
Right.
So we'll get to that. But this one I kind of disagree with. Non-perishable pasteurized milk. I disagree. I mean, if you drink milk and you buy it from a store and then you like it, that's great. But that's not something you prep. That's not something you get a bunch of and stick in the fridge because it's going to go bad.
Well, if it's non-perishable, then it's shelf stable.
Gross.
Yeah, it's in those. You've seen them. They're in
those cartons.
They're in cartons. Yes.
Ick.
Yeah. No.
You need the real deal.
Yeah. If you are able to have even just a milking goat, I would highly recommend it. you don't like the taste of goat milk, but if you were
Yeah, if
wanting
you
a glass
needed it.
of milk, you would drink it. That's for sure.
Find farmers in your area that are willing to trade.
You could do that too.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we know some people on this list who are personal friends.
Yeah.
And we don't sell milk because that would be illegal.
Right.
But there are ways to make deals.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
So, high energy foods. I think that's translation for candy. This is what ready.gov says.
This is insane.
Here's one that our government has made almost impossible. Food for infants. Okay, if you're a mom and you got a little baby, try breast milk. I mean, not for you. You don't eat it. Baby. What?
Just.
We had a cow once that did that. We had a cow that would suckle off herself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she did.
It was the weirdest thing.
And other cows. And she's no longer with us.
Well, we didn't eat her.
No, we sold her.
And what's funny is the person that bought her will still give us updates every once in a
Yeah,
while. And it's been
and
like 2 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been 2 years, and she knew about the problem, and was willing to work with her. And it was
Yeah, we
just-
didn't try to hide it.
I needed the milk. I didn't need a problem, so yeah.
We tried everything to get rid of it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or rid of her to stop doing it.
Yeah, we tried everything to stop her from doing it. Tried to separate her. Nope, didn't work. She just
Kept going.
kept going on herself. It was ridiculous. Anyway,
Kim, I agree with Kim. Start a garden. It is not too late.
nope, it is not too late.
There are a lot of foods that will grow super fast.
Yep.
Cucumbers.
Cucumbers are super fast, 55, 60 days. Radishes, I think it's like 25, 30 days, something like
Lettuces?
that. Lettuces are super fast. Spinach, I don't remember how long spinach is. But even turnips are really delicious. There's squash, summer squash, grows really quickly, and a lot of it. If you know of anybody that has squash, they're wanting to give it away.
Usually,
Yeah.
that's a joke around here because a lot of people grow the squash, and if you go to church, then usually you'll find squash in your car when you're leaving.
That's why you make sure you lock your car if you don't want any squash,
Yeah,
because otherwise you're
gonna get squash.
Get lots of it.
Or it could be an indicator if you're liked or not.
Ooh.
Are you a person that people like to hang around? Well, you'll know because you'll either get squash or you won't.
It's funny. That's really funny.
Carrots too. She's right.
Yep. Anne Louis, do they sell cones for cows? Probably
That
not.
would be awesome.
That
No,
would
you
be
could-
really hysterical.
You
though.
can cut a hole in one of those old school satellite dishes.
Be really heavy to carry around.
It's not my problem.
Oh, my
She's talking
heavens.
about for the cow that would suckle off herself.
Oh, wow. So, Happy Meat Farm Rios. We did our garden yesterday and found hundreds of volunteer carrots and beets.
Well, explain what
Nice.
volunteer is.
A volunteer is when your plant goes to seed and it's goes into the soil, and in the spring it comes back up in the spring. I'm surprised I haven't found lots of tomato plants this year.
You did find some.
Not in the garden tubs that we had the tomatoes in.
That reminds me, I gotta
Yeah.
water that one. I want to see if they came up. We had kind of a throwaway, like an extra. It was like a wash basin that she got, but we're not using, and so we're using it as a raised bed. Oh, it's the old
Stock tank.
stock tank.
Yeah, no, those are doing well.
They're coming up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
the spaghetti squash that we put in there.
We put them away because they're gonna vine and go crazy.
Yeah.
So we figured we put them way over there, and that'll
And let them do their thing, and
Yahtzee.
yeah, no, they're doing great. And some of the so Brad planted some lettuce seeds in our garden towers, and those went crazy. And
Yes.
so I actually pulled some of them out and transplanted them into the other garden tower because those didn't germinate for some reason, and those are doing well. So.
Yeah. Yep. And Tiffany is correct. If you have a freeze dryer, you can freeze dry milk.
Yes, you can freeze whole milk. Yes.
Yep. Yep. It's good.
Yep. Not freeze whole milk. Freeze dry whole milk.
Now, their last thing on this list before we hit some tips that we know of, is comfort/stress foods. Now, that's kind of complicated, really, unless you have a freeze dryer. Like one of the comfort foods that I have always just love is a thing called stuffed cabbage.
Yep.
And it's cabbage rolls. It's, meat and stuff. Like you could put rice in there or whatever, and you wrap it in cabbage and you bake it. So for me, cabbage rolls are out. But if you have a comfort food like Reese's, you can do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I do with our Reese's is I put them in mason jars and vacuum seal them.
That way the chocolate's not going to go bad.
Right. And we've done that with chocolate chips before, and it has worked amazing. Like even the milk chocolate or semi-sweet, they last. They turn like a little white color on the outside of them.
They still taste good, though.
But they still taste good. They still melt great. So, yeah.
Ooh. Look at that question. That's on Louise. She's throwing down the gauntlet with this question. What's more important to buy, a deep freezer or a generator? Well, that's like chicken and the egg right there, because if you have a deep freezer and no generator, you're kind of in trouble there.
Yeah.
So I would have to say generator first.
Yeah, I would start with a generator.
But here's the thing about a generator. If things got weird, they make a lot of noise. So you would want to try to put it in a box that is well ventilated, but not that won't burn, like fireproof,
Right.
to deaden the sound. And you can't put it in your house at all. Can't put it in your garage,
Right.
at all.
Right.
So, but that would be my opinion. What do you guys think? Generator or freeze dryer or deep freezer?
See, I think both, like Kim said.
I do, yeah, but
both.
she's saying which is more important.
However, a generator is more important. Like if you live on a well, then you're going to need a generator to run your well pump.
You won't get water.
You won't have water.
You can't flush toilets.
Right. You can't shower. You can't draw water unless you have another way to run your water or run your well without power.
John Zeckerly. Hey, John. He's suggesting a solar generator. I love solar generators. I do. Matter of fact, we've got a good one that's coming, a big beefy one. And that's the reason why I was going to say you got to be careful, though, because a lot of those cheaper solar generators will not run a well pump.
Right.
It takes too much amp draw. And I have some that are like the lunchbox ones. They're great for lights and they're great for stuff like that. That's not going to draw a lot of power.
Right.
But holy smokes, they won't run anything that pulls juice like that.
Yeah.
Shuts them off. You got to be careful which one you buy.
Right. Yeah. There's so many of them. There's so many of them.
Yeah. There's the one that's coming is going to be really cool. And what's neat about this one, why I'm excited about this one, is they sell extra battery banks that click together, and so you can stack them.
Nice.
I think it's like you can stack up to 10.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot.
Yeah. So then you'd have a lot of power.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, why?
So Dan is saying learn how to can store food the old way. He's right. That's the thing. If you get a generator, you can run your refrigerator and, things like that. But definitely canning. Can your meats, can your veggies. That's definitely, or if you have a freeze dryer, use that too. So.
Yeah, we have a lot of reviews on solar generators. So you can just Google Big Family Homestead solar, and then there's tons of them. Because I think we've done 5, 7, could be.
So.
And this new one, the new one that's coming, I'm excited about it. It's the first one that I'm like super really jazzed about, just because I know their specs start out saying you can run a CPAP machine for 5 days without sun.
Nice.
So for people that are medical stuff, you could run a tiny little fridge for a long time, because where we live, if it ain't summertime, you might not get sun for a week.
Well, I remember when we had our solar panels set up at the last house, even when it was cloudy, they were still.
You still got juice.
You still had, yeah. It was still charging the solar generator.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Would you grab that?
Yes.
This is a resource that you need. You need it now.
Yes.
We're not Mormons.
Nope.
We don't have anything against Mormonism.
Nope.
I have a theological problem with Mormons.
Well, yeah.
Mormonism.
Right.
I have a bad theological problem. But all the Mormons I've ever met, some of the nicest people that you meet.
Right.
So I want to make that clear.
Right.
We're not Mormons.
No.
We don't dislike Mormons, but I have a problem with their theology.
Right. But part of their religion is preparedness. And they have come up with this book that is insane.
Yeah.
Insane. There's so much in here. And it even has charts. Look at this. On how much.
Of what?
Of what per person.
Yeah.
Per year.
They break it down. They break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to know why it happened, look up the Donner Party.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had a really bad time.
Really
it was a bad time. Yeah. And after that, they said everyone needs to have food on hand all the time. Because we're not going to do that again.
Right. Right.
So let's take a look at that if you don't mind.
Sure.
I believe, and I do believe, you can download this for free. You can download it for free and then print it out, but I think we paid $20 for this.
Yeah, it might be a little bit more now, just because we've had this for, 10 years?
Yeah.
And they've probably updated it a little bit. I don't know.
But folks, it goes through everything from self-defense items, calibers, numbers, to evacuation plans and
first aid,
food.
Isn't there first aid in there?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's loads of things in there.
Like beans and flour and how much you're going to need of what and last to what.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, and I actually had this thought the other day. I personally think, this is just my opinion. You guys decide, tell me what you think in the comments. I personally think you need to have a minimum of 6 months food, water, sustenance per person for everybody in your house. Minimum.
Yeah, definitely minimum.
And seeds, learn to grow. If you're not already growing.
Do it now. Yeah.
What do you guys think? $34? Kim is on it.
Yes, she is.
Kim is on it. I personally say 6 months is a minimum. I don't feel comfortable for us without at least a year.
Yeah. Right. And a way to
resupply.
And provide for our whole family, but especially Grace, because she's G-tube fed.
Yep.
So we have to be able to feed her, hence why we have milking animals and things like that. So.
Well, and for us, we're blessed in that we do have a little bit of space for animals. So we have chickens, which means we have eggs. We have chickens, which also means we have meat.
Right.
It just happens to be running around out there right now. And they're making more. And we also have beef on the hoof, so to speak.
Right.
So for us, it's a huge benefit. We can rest a little easier. But I just, if you have that ability, I would suggest you do it.
Yeah. So Cindy's asking, how do you store dog food to keep it fresh?
You don't.
You don't.
You could vacuum seal it, I suppose.
You could, but dog food will eventually go rancid because of the oils and
there's a lot of fat in
the
it.
fat in it. Our plan for our dogs, I wasn't gonna mess with it.
Well, you accidentally hit it last time, so I'm just moving it. Okay. That's all.
Our plan for our dogs is when we had our last cow butchered, we had the butcher grind up all of the organ meat.
Yep.
And what we'll do is we'll mix that with veggies and rice and feed them that. So we're gonna just basically move them over from dog food. If we can't buy dog food anymore, move them from dog
Yep.
food to human food. Really,
We would probably start raising rabbits.
probably.
Steve Ganink is asking how do you store that much water? Well, our plan would be different than your plan, but let's just say for us, we have a generator that does propane and gas.
Yeah.
We have solar generators that are big enough to run our well pump, and for us, we've got a well. And then if we didn't have a well, there's a river nearby. And if we didn't have access to that, I can dig out here because there's like a little swampy area.
Yeah.
I could dig down, get the water, boil it, purify it,
Yeah.
then run it through the Berkey. But if you were like a city dweller, I would just get a bunch of those cases of bottled water. I would get a bunch of those milk jugs, clean out milk jugs, put them in there. Or if you've got access to like the 2-liter Pepsi things, do that.
Yep. Anything you can to store water in. And even get a water bob. Those tub, they fill
If
up
you
your
have an
bathtub.
extra bathroom.
If you have an extra bathroom, get a water bob and put it in the bathtub and use that. Fill that when you can't.
If you don't know what a
you're
water
able to.
bob is, it's a gigantic balloon that you stick in your bathtub.
Fill it with water.
Yeah, we used to have them when we lived in Florida for hurricane season. Because hurricane season runs through and you run out of, there's no power,
Yeah.
no water.
Yeah. Okay, Shervin, that's a
What?
funny question.
What's the question?
Not. It's funny for us. Not funny. Okay, sorry. I'm not trying to offend. Our cat actually eats dog food. That's why it's funny to me.
But that's what she's always eating. She's a barn cat.
She's a barn cat. She's eating mice outside. She's eating dog food when she's inside. And that's why it's funny. Not your question, but it's funny for me.
It just struck you funny.
Yeah, it struck me funny because our cat eats. She's not finicky. She eats dog food.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we went to go buy cat food for her, and she didn't eat it.
Yeah.
So we ended up giving
We're
it
like,
to
forget
the
it.
pigs.
We gave it to the pigs.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, she didn't like it. She liked the dog food better.
Let's talk about meat rabbits here for a second. If you have the ability, you can raise rabbits almost anywhere. I wouldn't say an apartment, but even if you're if you have a home or a garage, you can raise rabbits, and they go nuts. They're one of the best animals for return on your investment in terms of the protein you're going to get, because they reproduce like rabbits.
Right. Yeah. And
Boom, boom, boom.
it's that particular rabbits are not considered an agricultural animal, so you can raise them in an HOA, in a
Most
neighborhood.
of them. Unless they're specific.
Unless they're specific and it says no rabbits, which who doesn't like fluffy rabbits? Come on.
Everybody likes rabbits.
Right. And yes, you can use the fertilizer.
They are your pets.
They're pets, exactly. We're raising our pets. They're show rabbits.
Oh my gracious.
Show rabbits. Yeah.
I will tell you though, we raised rabbits with the intention of using them as a food source if we needed to.
Yep.
But then we never once ate one.
No.
No, because we sold them to the local farm store who sold them to people that wanted them for whatever, pets.
Yeah, they used them for pets or meat or whatever. But yeah, we made enough money to be able to pay for the food for them, which
And
was nice.
there was extra.
There was a little extra, yeah.
But, rabbits don't need a big habitat, and they're easy.
Yeah. Okay, that hurts my heart, Jen. They're
What?
not allowed to butcher their on personal property legally.
If they don't know.
Do it in your garage.
Well, and besides,
Pets are delicious.
Delaney, that's true. Our chickens.
It's funny.
I'll tell you what. Oh man, no. The parent rabbits are pets.
Yeah.
The babies are not.
Right.
Yeah.
But the HOA doesn't have to know that.
They don't need to
They're
know.
your pets.
Well, and here's another thing, guys. You got to think about this. If things got really sideways and people can't get to the grocery store or some disaster happened, you're not going to care so much about their rules.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And a lot of people won't.
Goodness
So,
gracious.
one thing that I did think of, though, the other day, this was really kind of funny, because a lot of us prepare and store our food for long-term situations in case something weird happens, right? We don't live in fear. We're just, it is what it is. But I thought, if a big chunk of our country was somehow incapacitated, let's say there was a solar flare or an EMP, and most of the electronics got knocked out in half of the country, right? Do you think that maybe 6 months in or so, after chaos has just become just total bedlam, like a country like China wouldn't come over and say, okay, you're ours now?
Oh, yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
I would think that would happen.
Oh, yeah.
They would seize the opportunity.
Right. Right. And Jen says, yep, all the rules go out the window.
You're right.
Yeah, so who cares what your HOA says? Raise rabbits. If you want to raise rabbits, raise rabbits.
Send me a fine.
Yeah, exactly. Fine me.
I'll pay you with fiat dollars that aren't worth
Exactly.
anything.
Right. Yeah, I get so tired of that. Rules on my own, in my own house.
Alternative food for cats. Cats are carnivores. They are.
Yep.
Breed quail, mice, rodents. Some will eat raw eggs too. That is true.
Our cat does not. She does not like raw.
I think with the news that happened today, are we in for an interesting weekend? Because I think so.
Oh, my.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. I'm, yes, very concerned for,
Not here.
no.
It would
the
be
cities.
really
Yeah.
foolish for anybody to
Yeah.
start problems around here, because everybody is like-minded.
Oh, right.
And everyone is very, very, very much fans of the Second Amendment.
Yeah. Because everybody hunts up here.
Not just that,
Yeah.
but yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Do you think things are going to go sideways for some folks? Because I kind of do. I hate the idea. But
Hard to find New Zealand rabbits. Huh. I wonder where, I don't know where you're at. I
New
actually,
Zealand's are plentiful here.
well, yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I've looked on Craigslist up here and I see rabbits, but I'm not paying attention to them because I'm not wanting to get into rabbits. Even though I know we should, I just don't want to.
Well, we have a lot of, we've got sheep now as well. We have a milk goat, which she is just a joy.
She really is a lot of fun. She is. She can be, she's greedy, like all goats are. All goats are greedy. And she pushes the sheep out of the way after she's had her meal, and, but, she's been a great addition to our farm. Her
Yeah.
and the sheep, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Our little grass maggots are awesome.
Grass maggots. I love them. They're awesome. One thing on the rabbits, just to say, if you ever decide to raise rabbits, there is a way to dispatch them quickly and quietly.
Oh, yes.
And I suggest you look it up. It was what my plan was to do if we had to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's called
Isn't it a neck ringer?
a neck ringer.
Yeah.
But they're just gone.
Yeah.
They just don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, that's if you need to eat. I'm not suggesting you ever do that for fun.
No,
That would be kinda messed up.
Definitely for food production. So, storing food on your shelf is super important, but being able to resupply it
That's a big
is
deal.
a huge deal.
You're right.
Because once your beans and rice are gone, now what?
Yahtzee.
You have to be able to resupply your canned meat. Use rabbit, use chickens. Shoot. Buy chickens, I know a lot of people can't have chickens where they're at, and
Learn to fish. Great
yes, Tanya.
suggestion.
Yes,
She's
learn-
saying she needs to, but yes.
Oh yeah, but yeah, learning to fish is, of course, I'd rather learn how to catch, But, you know, haha, that's Brad's joke.
Because when people say you going fishing, I don't like fishing.
No.
I like catching.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to me, I'm a busy-minded person.
Yes.
I'm always thinking about 4 or 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to sit out on a lake and wait for hours
No.
for a bite is
not.
not something that I find exciting.
You're not
I
a
know a
very
lot of people
patient
do.
man.
I know a lot of people love it.
You're not a very patient man.
No. That is true.
I say that lovingly.
Well, I knew I was going to marry you within 2 weeks.
Yep. I know.
Glad you agreed.
Yep.
Coming on what? 3 months, 8 years
Yep.
or something
8
like that?
years, I think. Yeah, we're working on 8 years.
We got 22-year-olds,
24-year-old.
something like that. I don't know.
Our oldest is
4,
24.
5, 6 kids.
We've been married almost 30 years, guys. He's just being silly. Oh my goodness.
Coming up on 30.
Yes, he's ADHD. Yes, he won't admit
A little bit.
it. Lot of it.
A little bit. At least I put it to good use.
Boing, boing, boing.
I use my ADHD for the
Is that
powers
your-
of good.
Is that your superpower?
It is.
ADHD is your superpower.
Form of 50 billion things at once.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
17 years for you guys.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Congratulations. Has
I
anybody
thought you
got
were
us
like
beat?
20.
Well, they've got a few 24-year-olds too.
No, they don't.
We're just teasing.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Who's got us beat with years married? What?
You have to go.
You got to go? She's got to pick up
gotta go
Hope,
pick
and
up
here's
Hope.
why. Sorry to cut this short,
Sorry,
but
guys.
today is a big day. Our daughter Hope has been saving up for 2 whole years to buy a horse.
Yeah.
She saved the money, searched for 6 months.
Oh no. She's been searching for 2 years. But I told her, it's like, look, you might as well just stop looking, because by the time you have the money, that horse is not gonna be there.
Yep.
But she looked anyway. Yeah, whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey's
Yeah.
the horse.
Yep.
So we got to go get her.